taking a still shot or with a camera. So I read that to be just an example of, if you would, what you can do. Not an exclusive list, but just an inclusive list. Secondly, it says all persons, and that means everyone. The second rule is no photos may be taken during the meeting except by the officially designated media. Well, obviously, the officially designated media is not all persons. Therefore, I think you are excluding everyone that isn't officially designated media. I'm not too sure what officially designated media is, even if we have an officially designated media. From a legal standpoint, I'm the only officially designated media that I'm aware of is there are certain, the most recent example is we just did a sewer water issue. And we went to the closing to do the bonding. I think the mayor will remember. The bonding attorney was very concerned whether or not we advertised in what was the officially designated paper, and that is that is my understanding of maybe the legal requirement of having an officially designated media. And the only one that I'm aware of right now is things like bonding. To bond certain things, you may have to advertise or put notices in what you have designated as a newspaper. In fact, I think it even uses the word newspaper, not media.
At this point, I think it is restricted to print.
Yeah, print media or print newspapers. But be that as it may, if you just officially designate somebody, I'm not too sure. At least if this, what I've got in front of me, is correct, at the top of the page, it says the city has designated two outlets as official media, the Daily Globe and the Superior Chronicle. That may be or may not be true, I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that the city cannot say who, in other words, all persons means everyone. You just can't pick and choose who's going to be able to take photographs or videotape or whatever. So the third rule is no photos of the audience may be taken. No photos of the audience may be taken of the audience except by the officially designated media. Same thing. All persons are entitled to these rights according to the law, and the city cannot pick and choose to exclude anyone. And the fourth one, no photos, audio, or video content may be posted to a third-party website such as YouTube. My problem with that is I don't know that. First, I don't know how you would enforce it. In other words, if somebody went to YouTube and said, okay, I have a resolution by the city council or the city commission of the city of Ironwood saying that this can't be on YouTube, I don't know that that would actually result in YouTube not putting it on or being unable to put it on. So I don't think it's enforceable. And secondly, and maybe more importantly, I don't see how that rule or regulation would minimize the possibility of a disruption of the meeting. In other words, the meeting's already taken place. By putting it on YouTube, I don't know how it could possibly disrupt the meeting. It's taking place. And as I read this, the only rules or regulations you can make must be in order to, must have an object to minimize the possibility of disrupting the meeting. And I just don't see how, after the meeting, how posting something on YouTube or any other site would disrupt the meeting. Now, having said this, I don't want anyone to assume that I'm taking sides in what I perceive somewhat to be maybe a personality conflict to certain individuals. I'm not taking sides. I don't think. I think remedies for things that appear on other sites maybe should best be pursued outside of rules and regulations for open meetings. Because I think this is suggest there are unintended consequences to adopting rules and regulations to prevent certain things, because it has the consequence of, I think, of making the meetings more closed. And I don't think that's the intent of this. And with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I have one quick question. If the turning of the video camera to a patron or to a voter or a member of the audience and the focus in on that person causes a discomfort, that's the disruption that has been occurring in the past, and that's my biggest concern.
Well, we discussed that, and my response to that question was, a person who feels uncomfortable or maybe even intimidated is really not in the rules here. That is to say,
what constitutes a disruption, I guess?
Well, I think for example, if I'm speaking here and somebody does something to prevent me from speaking or disrupts my speaking in the proceeding or that type of thing. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I have, in the past, I don't know how many years, I've had people come to my office with TV cameras to give interviews. I've been on the radio. I've been up to on Channel 13, that Ash the Lawyers thing. And I can assure you, I felt uncomfortable in front of those cameras. I think that's almost natural to feel uncomfortable in front of a camera. And I think the fact that somebody feels uncomfortable in front of the camera, I think you've got to weigh that person's personal feelings of Mr. Albert takes pictures of me. I can't say it makes me uncomfortable, but the point is, if I did feel uncomfortable, let's say I did feel uncomfortable when he takes pictures of me, I don't think my discomfort should rise to the level of preventing him from taking my picture. Also, I think anyone who comes here, it's a public meeting. I hate to say it, but I don't think there's a high expectation of privacy here. You don't want your picture taken, or you don't want somebody to take your picture when you're speaking, you probably shouldn't be here, because it clearly says that they have the right to tape record, videotape, broadcast live on radio, and telecast live on television the proceedings. I can assure you, we've got a television camera in here, and the radio is here, and it went out in the airspace. I'd probably feel a little intimidated and a little more uncomfortable speaking, but I don't think that would be enough to prevent them from doing it, because the law gives them the right to do it. So that's the best answer I can give you. I think being uncomfortable by having a picture taken or having your voice broadcast over the airwaves probably is uncomfortable and probably is intimidating for most of us. But I don't think that's enough to prevent somebody's right to take a photo or to videotape or whatever.
Any other questions? Next time.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.